Let's make a fresh organic cucumber hydrosol. I was able to get these beautiful, fresh, organic cucumbers from my neighbor. His daughter was growing some in their backyard and they just happened to be ready to harvest as soon as I needed them. Cucumber hydrosols are really easy to make on your own. They offer soothing, hydrating, and refreshing benefits. It's great for sensitive, irritated, even overheated skin. It's a rich addition to skincare products and great to have on hand. Cucumber hydrosols can be used in facial mist or toners, facial serums, lotions, hydrating mist, and so much more. I recommend using organic cucumbers for this hydrosol because it's free of pesticides and you don't have a whole bunch to worry about since people will be putting this stuff on their skin. We want to start off by making sure we rinsed it really good and dried them off. Next, you want to slice your cucumbers in 1 inch to 1/2 inch slices, skin still on because it's organic, and then place them in your bowl. Next, I'm going to get a heating mat to protect my countertops, and I'm going to be using a hot plate today because I just don't feel like setting up a camera by the work area that I'm working in right now. I'm also going to be using a stainless steel pot. Not sure how big that is. I'll have to go back and check. And then you need a top that comes to a point like this one. It needs a bell on it because what the water is going to do is once it goes through its process, it's going to all collect on the top, and it needs something to drip down into your dish underneath. I'm going to be using a glass ramekin. I think this is about 6 inches. Now you're going to take your cut cucumbers and go ahead and put them in the pot. Rearrange them so that they all lay flat. And then I'm using some distilled water. You're going to take your distilled water and pour it directly into the pot over the cucumbers. The water needs to at least cover the cucumbers. It doesn't have to be too high, and you don't want the water level to be too high because if it is, the water that you've used to cover up your cucumbers in will contaminate your hydrosol water that's supposed to be collecting during the steaming process. So keep your water level low. It just needs to cover right above the cucumbers. So for my setup, I'm going to be using this set I got from Walmart. It was like $12 or $15. It comes with a steam tray, the pot, the lid, everything. I'm going to place my vegetable steam tray inside and then sit the ramekin in the middle. You can use whatever works for you, but as long as your setup looks similar to this, it should work. Now is a good time to go ahead and set your heat. You don't want it too high to where it's scorching the cucumbers, but you need it high enough to simmer. So about medium high is where I have mine. Next, take your glass lid and flip it and then place it over the top. The bell needs to be positioned exactly over the ramekin. Next, go get a quart-size bag, Ziploc bag, and fill it up with ice. You're going to take this bag of ice and place it directly on top. This speeds up the steaming process for some reason, condensation, all of that other kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure I learned about it in science class. It just works. Now, we let it cook. Okay, usually you are done once all of your ice has melted or when there's no more water in the pot. I'm just going to take this and place it to the side and slowly lift the ramekin out of the steamer. It is going to be hot, so make sure you have something to protect your countertops and something to protect your hands. I got mom hands. I don't feel heat for some reason. Like, I don't know. I can just go right in there and just grab it. So look at this. So I probably could let it go a little bit longer and get a little bit more. There's some more water still in there, and they just look like little pickles. Anyways, this is how much we got on this run. This is about 2 cucumbers worth of hydrosol. That's a pretty good amount. I'm actually going to go back and put the 3rd cucumber in and let it go through the process again, but I'll do that off screen. And that's it. Keep watching if you want to learn how to preserve your hydrosol and get it bottled up. I'm back. Our hydrosol has completely cooled, and now it's time for the next step if you plan on packaging this up and preserving it. This next step is critical. A preservative is required if you don't plan on using it within days. And even if you plan to do that, it still needs to be stored in the refrigerator. However, if you are planning to use this in any of your skincare formulations or anything like that, a preservative is required. Nobody wants to open up a product with molded water or molded product inside, and this is what's going to prevent that. So let's get right into it. I'm not sure how much Hydrosol we made, so the first thing you want to do is get the water and measure it and figure out how much we had. These two ramekins are exactly the same size, so all I would do is take the empty ramekin, put it on the scale, tear it out, and replace it with the ramekin with the Hydrosol in it. Then I'll get my measurement. If you don't have two containers that are the exact same size, you just take one empty container, put it on your scale, tear it or zero it out, and then take the dish with the Hydrosol in it and transfer it into that dish. That's going to give you your measurement. Okay, so we got almost 7 ounces out of 3 cucumbers, 2 that I did on camera and 1 I sent through the process once I paused the camera. Now we need to calculate how much preservative to put inside. So my particular preservative that I'm using has a usage rate of 0.5%. So I'm going to calculate that based upon how much Hydrosol I need to preserve. So 0.5% of 6.95 is 0.03 ounces of preservative that I'm going to need. Okay, that's fully mixed. Let's go ahead and get this packaged up and stored away. And we're done. I like to label my bottle and go ahead and put a date on it so I'll know exactly how long its shelf life is. And it's that simple. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. And if you like what you see, don't forget to like and subscribe. See y'all again soon. Bye.